Hello, this is the screen that you see when you first log into Mechanic Manager. So it just shows you all the sales for the financial year and just a graph of the invoices. So to create a new invoice or look up an invoice, you click on Invoice and Sales up here, and then you click on New Invoice. You're presented with this page. These are all the unpaid invoices on the left hand side. So this would be the last invoice we did here. They're sorted by the date. So this is the last one we did, say yesterday or today, and we might have done this last week. So you've got on the page, you've got the rego number, the customer name, and the products and services that you put down here. So it's very, if you think about it, it's very basic. It's just an invoice. So an invoice has the customer name, the rego number of the car, and the parts and labour, and maybe some vehicle details. So to find a vehicle, all you want to do is type in the first letter of the rego. We can type in the first couple letters. So let's select this one here, the Holden. It puts the customer name automatically onto the invoice and the vehicle details, like the VIN number, year, make, model, etc. You can put the next service kilometres, and you can set the next service date, say 6 months from today. You just click on 6. Okay, and then all you've got to do now is put the parts and labour, and that's basically the whole invoice. So to put a part on there, you just type in the first letter of the part name or the part code. So say A. We've got a A360 air filter here. We'll put that on there. I know we've got a story that's say labour. Put labour on there, and that's the invoice. So there's the customer phone numbers there. That's basically it. So you've got the to create an invoice, you've got to have the customer name on the invoice, just like in any invoice. And then this one, because it's particular to vehicles, you've got the rego number and the vehicle details, and then the parts and labour. And then after you've done that, you fill it out. You can connect the Repco and pull parts straight onto the invoice using Repco Easy Navigator Pro. So if I click Repco Parts, you can search for a vehicle part, and when you select it, it goes straight onto this invoice. Okay, and after you've created the invoice, you've got to save it or print it, and you can make the payment at the same time. Click the green button. You go into this screen here, invoice payment. You can select how you want to pay it off on. So the balance due is 140. I might want to pay it off on Visa card. I'll just click here, and it goes to 140. But I'll leave it as a credit at the moment, so I'll leave the payment as 0 for now, and I'll just save the invoice. So I'm saving the invoice saved, and here it is up the top. So when the customer comes in, at the end of the day, you can click on that, and then click the green button again down here, say make payment and print. And then I can make the payment now because the customer's come in. It's the afternoon now. Make the payment, and you can just go print and save. Okay, so you go print and save. It tells you the invoice is already there. You want to save the changes. Since we haven't changed it, I'll just say no, or we can say yes. It doesn't really matter. But we don't have to save it again, so I'll say no. Actually, you've got to say yes here. Do you want to save any changes? Yes. Okay, and there's the invoice. Okay, so that's the invoice. You just print it normally like you would any. You just press the print button here, and it prints it off. Okay, so that's the invoice there. So now, if the customer's not there, there's a few ways of adding a customer. Like from the invoice, you can go quick add customer and vehicle. So you come into the invoice, you can go quick add customer and vehicle. This tab comes up, you've got the customer details and the vehicle details. So if I click on the customer details, there's the vehicle details. If I click on the customer details, all I've got to do is put in the first name, say Peter, say Jones, for example, the address in, suburb, etc. Email. If you want to email invoices to the customer. So I'll just do that for now. You just fill that in. You fill in whatever you want. I'll go save. Okay, save successful. And Peter goes straight onto the invoice. Peter Jones, the name. Okay. Actually, I'll clear the screen and I'll add the vehicle at the same time. So I'll go quick add customer and vehicle. We'll go so Mike Smith. Put the address in. Okay. There's, oops. I'll clear the screen. Hang on a second. So we'll go Mike Smith. Put the address in. I'll just select that address. And I'll save, I'll put the vehicle in. Go to vehicle details. Put the rego number, say QWE1146. I'm going to put the VIN number in there, the odometer. So it's 100,000. You can put the colour in. Put in any details you want to fill in. Rego due date, you can fill in whatever you want. Make, say Ford, Falcon year 2019, and just go save. Okay. So the rego number goes directly onto the invoice, so as a customer, and the vehicle details, so Ford Falcon kilometre. I'll say it needs another service in 6 months. I'll click 6 there, or you can set the calendar on the right hand side here. You can put the next service kilometres, so 110. Okay, so all you've got to do now is add the parts and the labour to the invoice. So to add a new part that's not already there, if I type in, for example, VV, it's not there. So I can go easy add item. Now before we go into that, the customer and the vehicle here have been saved forever, so you can delete it, but you never have to. When that customer comes in again, you can just type in Q, like I showed you a bit earlier, and then that rego will come up. You select it, and the customer will automatically go onto the invoice. Okay, now to add a new product code, I'll close that. So I type in VVV. It's not there. All you do is you click on Easy Add. Brings up that screen. You can put a supplier in, put a description. So air filter. Put the cost price. Say it's $50, and you want to sell it for $90, for example. How many have you got in stock? Say 2. Just go save, and that goes directly onto the invoice there. Okay, so we can see it here, the vehicle air filter. So so I want to put in some labour. Another sort of item. Sorry, I'll put an item. Say I want to put so these brakes. It's spelled wrong, but anyway. Okay, I'll put these brakes on there. So they're there. If it's not there, I can do easy add again. So I'll click on brakes, and it puts you straight onto the invoice. I'm going to put some labour on there. So I type in 1. There's some labour, and that's a whole story. So it shows you a whole story there. So you can do a whole story. Well, this is just a few things that have been done to the vehicle. Okay, and you can put a price in. So I put a price, say for all that labour, I can say $500. That's the discount, sorry. The price, the unit price is $500. Okay, so plus GST, you can have it including GST, sale price includes GST. If you click on that, see, now it's that makes the sale price include GST. If I do that, it's plus GST, and that's the invoice. All I do now is you can put a comment in here, you can put whatever you want, you can put your banking details for direct deposits, etc. And just click on the green button there and just go save invoice. Now that invoice is up here. So when they come back in the afternoon, like I showed you last time, you go into invoicing here, you just click on Mike and you can print it off from here, make payment with the green button, print it off. Now, and that's about it. So here you've got your service history. So if I look at the service history, say for, so I go into A1 Mechanic, this invoice here, I'll look at his service history, I'll click on that button there, service history, and there's the service history of the vehicle. Okay, so there's one invoice there, it looks pretty big. Okay, it looks like this has been pulled from Repco Navigator Pro. This detail, there's another invoice underneath that here, invoice number 13834, invoice 10. Okay, so invoice 7. So if I want to bring up invoice 7 for $379, I'll just click on that, and there's the invoice. Okay, well, that was a part 379. There's 2 of them. Alright, so that's the service history. You just click on service history. If I want to bring up this invoice here, there's the invoice total 140. So I'll click on that, and hang on, click on that 140. Just click anywhere on that invoice. This one here, and there it is, 140. Same invoice number. Well, that's the invoice, the service history. You've got visual inspection. So I can say I've checked the batteries, the fan belt needs urgent attention, the steering needs attention, and wheel alignment is good, and you can print off that report with the invoice. Okay, so that'll get your customer, coming back saying, okay, fix the fan belt. So you can do that as well. If I save that, when I print this invoice, it will print a report with that invoice. So that's about it. So it's quite straightforward, really. All you've got to do is, if to create an invoice, is put the customer name, which is pretty obvious. You want the name of the customer, or you can have a cash customer as well. So if I leave the name blank, it'll just assign the cash. You've got to put the rego number and the parts and labour. And when you save an invoice, all the accounting's done for you. The profit and loss, GST reports, all the customer statements. So if you look at reports, for example, you've got all the GST, cash and accrual, all the accounting. The profit and loss is already worked out for you. There's your labour income, your sales income, and there's your net profit there. So you've made a loss on so far, for some reason. That's your profit and loss. You can print it off. All your sales reports, like you've got your daily sales by invoice number, you've got customer sales, customer statements. So, detailing what has been done, all the invoices and what's outstanding. You've got age receivables, like 90, 30, 60, 90 days, reports. That, so look at the age summary, for example, I'll show you a report. So these are all the outstanding invoices, and these are current. These are 30, 61 days, and this column here is 90 days plus. So it shows you the percentage, the aging percentage, like 70. The percentage of that aging date. So 7% current, and 84% of outstanding invoices are over 91 days outstanding. Okay, so there's plenty of reports. When you've got your GST reports as well. Everything's done automatically with the invoice. You don't have to do any accounting or double entry or post to anything. It just does it for you. If you change the invoice, it updates the profit and loss, customer statements, all the journal entry. Everything's automatic. It's all done in the background. You don't have to worry about any of that. All you've got to do is just pull out the invoice and print it, and it's all done for you. So if you have any questions, give us a call. Thank you.